are a lot of other little tools that are specific to each gemstone. But I'll put the stone in the refractometer. What the refractometer does is it shoots light through the stone and measures how much bend that light takes through the material. So the chemical of the stone is a measurable bending in light. It's real precise. So I'll get a measurement from it. I'll take the measurement and the color, and I'll go to my manual from GIA. They've really got this down to a science. And it covers most stuff, not everything, but so this is red. And it's 1.62 to 1.77. And I'll go to that page and it'll tell me, page 88, what to further,
down, isn't it?
what to look for further. And so I didn't bring the microscope with me today, but I did bring posters of some of the things I look for. I got sapphire, and you can come see these afterwards. I got sapphire, I've got emerald, and I've got, and the frames come off. And I got ruby.
Ooh, wow.
So different things that I see in it.
That's a lot of
And this is
differences.
actual natural.
Right.
Your rutile, you know, you get healed fractures. Rubies and sapphires have so much value that they do all kinds of treatments to them. So that they're the most difficult for me to identify the treatments.
Are you able to tell if they're treated with the glass?
Yes.
Because of the way the light refracts?
In the microscope, so in the refractometer it comes out okay, usually, depends on how much glass, but usually. But in the microscope I see like fractured glass makes kind of a rainbow color after fracture. I can see that. I can also see sometimes air bubbles, because glass creates air bubbles, so as the glass filled in, it didn't completely eliminate all the air bubbles. So
Can this distinguish between man-made and natural?
no, because it's the same chemical.
Right.
So, you know, for example, I've got a synthetic ruby here, it'll come up the same as a natural ruby. My next step then would be to look at it in a microscope. Now, rubies and sapphires are particular that this is how the synthetics are made. It's cut in half, but it's a bowl, and they shoot the chemical through an enclosed vacuum, and it hits a high flame and then falls down and crystallizes and grows. But the growth is rounded. So when I look in the microscope with the light shining right, I can see a curved growth pattern. And everything in nature is linear. It's not curved, nothing except for glass, like obsidian. So that kind of identifies right away. Granted, you look at rubies and sapphires have a tendency, they have things inside them, the way they grow naturally. But you look at this and you say, no, that can't be real. You know, I have seen real ones that look this nice, but you know, typically when I buy this on eBay, I'll pay $20. So, and then I'll get my money back. But,
You're lucky you know
Pass
the
those
things
around.
are real or not.
yeah. Okay, so the way I got started with lapidary was 2008, the markets fell, and the jewelry stores decreased, and the LS Airs and the department stores stopped selling real stones. They were, and I started, as I was bored one time, I looked online and I said, oh, a black opal, and I've never seen that even in a jewelry store. So I bought one. I got it and I said, okay, now how do I tell if it's real? And so I found I took it to a jeweler. The jeweler said he needed a gemologist. I went to a gemologist. I said, well, that's interesting. I bought more stuff online. And I got more stuff. I'm like, now what do I do? And so I went and I got a gemology degree. And then I started making it into jewelry and that's what I do along with cutting the rock slabs. So everything has its particulars. This was purchased as a 4-carat diamond with a certificate. I use a diamond tester for it, and it tested positive on the diamond tester. However, diamonds, when you look through them, there is no doubling. You can't see any doubling on the facets down below. This is moissanite. It tests positive on a diamond tester, but when you look through it, on the bottom, the facet edges are doubled. So, plus I knew from the, I paid maybe $150 for this and got my money back. It's a nice gem. But everything has its own particulars.
Can you test a stone that's already been set?
As long as the prongs don't block me. Okay, so if the prongs get in the way, I need a flat surface that's polished. If I can get that on the refractometer, this is the best way to test it. If I can't, I do have other methods. I can always look at it in the microscope.
It feels a little denser.
You wanna know if it's diamond or,
Better be.
Surprise!
It's beautiful.
okay, so that's the way the diamonds glow. And 1/3 of diamonds glow in UV.
Oh,
So I got lucky that this one was one of those thirds.
I had never known that diamonds were ultraviolet responsive.
Only 1/3 of them are.
Only 1/3, okay.
Yeah, and they're usually that color. I have seen others with other colors, but they're extremely rare. The diamond tester, diamonds are the most conductive material on Earth. More conductive than gold, more conductive than copper. So this is measuring the conductivity of it.
can I see it? Oh, yes, I do.
That test positive. One more. Moissanite does not glow like that, ultraviolet.
Stop while you're ahead.
Do you have to go through all 3 tests of those, or the 2 would confirm it?
The more you do, the better your chances of finding that
Yes.
real thing.
Nature is interesting, so
Thank you.
So you also were looking for inclusions.
inclusions help. I didn't look that hard in it. I didn't see any, but I was looking at the facet edges to see if there was doubling, to see if that was moissanite. It's not. It's a diamond. That's,
Well, that's
a beautiful
good.
diamond. So, as a gemologist, I don't do one test to verify. I always have multiple tests to verify that what I saw was correct, because you never know. They say Mother Nature's a beautiful cook, but she cooks in a dirty kitchen. That's the way stones are. You get a little mixture of this and a little mixture of that. You never know for sure. There's always slight differences. So. Any other? That's all I have.
She has a question.
Sure.
You had a question? How
Oh,
many
no,
tests?
you just answered it, thank you. If the 2 tests could determine, if you can stop at 2 and know and with any level of confidence?
Yeah, okay, so I do, like, estates, will bring me stuff, a relative will pass away, and they'll wanna know what their stuff is, what's real, what's not. I charge $50 an hour to do testing, and I go through it fairly quickly, so if I get a test I'm most confident, or I'm pretty confident in, I don't do multiple tests, if I am looking at a gemstone that I purchased, it's a valuable stone, I will test everything I can on it. I am trained to test everything you can on that particular stone. So, but I know people don't wanna pay me $50 an hour to do that, so I do go a little bit quicker when stuff like that.
What was your training like?
I have a master's in business, and the GIA was the hardest test that I ever took.
Wow.
Is it a series of tests or?
It's a series of
modules?
courses.
Hmm?
It's a series of courses, and the final test, for color gemstones, diamonds, I get certified kind of separately, and then it's part of it. But, the final test is they give me, 20 gemstones. I have a sheet, and I have to mark on the sheet for each test that I've done a particular way. I cannot misspell anything. And I have to prove all 20 stones correctly, and prove that I've done the correct tests for each stone. So, it has to be
Is it
perfect.
online?
No, no.
How long did you take the training?
I took 3 years. You could go to school and do it in 6 months, maybe.
Where is it at?
But I did,
California.
yeah, actually, my gemology degree cost me more than my master's in business, twice as much. Plus I had to buy the equipment.
Right.
Where did you say the gemology school was?
It's GIA, they're
Right.
throughout the world, but, Carlsbad, California is the main campus. It used to be in New York, in the Diamond District, but I took classes in each, because I just wanted to see each location. The Diamond District is neat. It's unique. I went in there and I had a project, I was making something for my wife, and I wanted, small blue diamonds for the project, and so they directed me to this company, and they took me up in a secure building and through vaults, and I told them what they want, and they pulled out a bag of these diamonds and sorted through them for the size and the color I wanted. Oh, it was neat.
Wow.
It's neat.